I was hoping that your guest can help me change my mind about some things. I'm a white male, and I am prejudiced. And the reason it is something I wasn't taught, but it's kind of something that I learned. When I open up the papers, I get very discouraged at what young black males are doing to each other and the crime rate. I understand that they live in an environment with a lot of drugs. You have to get money for drugs, and it's a deep issue that goes beyond that. But when I have these different fears, and I don't want my fears to come true, so I try to avoid that. And I come off as being prejudiced, but I just have fears. I don't like to be forced to like people. I like to be led to like people through example. And what can I do to change, to be a better American?
Heather McGhee.
Thank you so much for being honest and for opening up this conversation, because it's simply one of the most important ones we have to have in this country. We are not a country that is united because we are all one racial group that all descended from one tribe in one community. That is actually, I think, what makes this country beautiful, but it's our challenge. We are the most multiracial, multi-ethnic, wealthy democracy in the world. And so asking the question you asked, how do I get over my fears and my prejudices, is the question that all of us, and I will say people of all races and ethnicities and backgrounds, hold these fears and prejudices. Most of them are actually unconscious, right? You'll say to yourself, I'm not prejudiced, but of course we all have them. And so your ability to just say, this is what I have these fears and prejudices, and I want to get over them, is one of the most powerful things that we can do right now at this moment in our history. So thank you. So what can you do? Get to know black families who are not all, and not even any majority, are involved in crime and gangs. Turn off the news at night, because we know from, sorry, Greta, keep the news open in the morning.
We're not delivering the news, so it's fine.
Because we know that actually nightly news and many media markets that have been studied actually overrepresents African-American crime and underrepresents crimes that happen by white people. Join a church if you are a religious person that is a black church or a church that is interracial. Start to read about the history of the African-American community in this country. Foster conversation in your family and in your neighborhood where you're asking exactly those kinds of questions. This fear of communities that we do not live near. We are still a very, very segregated country. Millions of white Americans live in places where they rarely see anyone of a different race. This fear and set of ideas that we only get from the worst possible news, it's tearing us apart. And we know that in order to be our name means the people of the nation, demos. In order to be a demos that is united across lines of race and class and gender and age, we have to foster relationships. We have to get to know who one another actually is. And we are always, I think, as Americans, surprised when we build relationships across race.
Let's get in, Laneda.